Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at an interview that The Warning did. The Road, the Stage, Communal Creative Studios. They are from Canada, based in Red Deer, Alberta. Presumably, The Warning were just coming through town. This dropped on YouTube on November 16, 2022, a little over 2 years ago. People have requested this one for quite some time. My understanding is there were waffles served to the sisters. It should be an interesting interview. I just keep hearing good things about it. So with that, why don't we just go ahead and get started?
You guys are from Monterrey.
Yeah. Yes.
What part of Mexico is that?
It's up the north.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's like 2 hours from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So,
Below Texas.
Yeah, below.
So if we're talking about food from your home, like what's something that...
Traditionally, like from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cabrito.
Yeah, cabrito.
Okay.
Which is it baby goat?
Oh my God, that's delicious.
Cabrito baby goat? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a very like specific thing from Monterrey.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a very big Jewish settlement in Monterrey.
Yeah.
So cabrito was a very big part.
The waffles are kind of more like the same.
Yeah. Cabrito and waffle.
Well, I feel a little bad because Pete had some notes prepared for the interview, and he wrote cabrito on the
Got
notes.
to it before I even had a chance.
And,
Oh my God.
because I don't know.
Kid goat mixed into the waffles.
Yeah. Oh,
No, there's not.
wow.
Did you say kid goat?
Isn't that
Yeah,
what
that,
it's
that would
kid
be
goat,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Instead of baby goat, kid goat.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I do love goat. Have you eaten much
I've
goat?
never eaten goat. Lamb.
I've never had
but
goat.
never goat.
Okay.
You guys have
Goat
lamb
is incredible.
very much?
I don't.
not that
Really,
much.
what is lamb in Spanish?
Cordero.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's good.
Just
They're
getting
very
the
similar in
specifics
English.
down.
Yeah,
Now there
yeah,
is a
sure.
secret ingredient in the waffles.
No.
When I was telling my wife, I'm like, I'll make waffles in the morning for the girls, and she's
so
like, okay.
nice of
She
you.
just actually got back from a Mexican vacation. She's like, well, I brought Mexican vanilla back. So there is actually Mexican. It's Mexican vanilla.
No, this is the nicest thing anyone has ever done for us in an interview. Like it's I don't know if it's a
The
stereotypical,
expectations
but
for
this is so
every other
Canadian.
interview
It's
are
so
now, like,
sweet. Thank you so much for the waffles.
Well, you're very welcome. We're
thank
excited
you.
to have you here. We've truthfully never done an interview this early, I don't think.
No, you know what's funny actually is I have a little bit of experience with one of your tour mates right now. So Brad, who's singing for 3 Days Grace,
Yes.
was with a band called My Darkest Days at the time. And I don't know why the interview got booked. So I work in radio. So the interview was booked for 7:15 a.m. Right?
Oh,
So
man.
I get to the station at 6:30 just to make sure everything's prepared. The bus is already in the parking lot. And as I'm coming into the station, the door of the bus opens, just a billow of smoke comes out, and I'm pretty sure the party hadn't stopped from the show after the night before. And I thought, oh shit, this could be a train wreck. But they were good. They were really good.
Okay,
They were definitely still in full-on party mode.
How long ago was that?
I would say that's got to be at least 10 years.
Okay.
At least 10
Oh my
years ago.
God.
I was
So
10
if you see
years,
Brad,
10
see if he
years ago.
remembers the
Okay.
7. He's not going to remember it.
All right.
He's not going to remember it.
I feel kind of
Our voice
boring
is
now.
very different. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
asleep.
on
Well,
the
that's
way
what I
here.
was curious. So you guys played last night in Calgary
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
did.
Where was that show?
at the Grey Eagle.
Yeah.
The casino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yes, it was.
It was really fun. It was our first time there and playing there as well. The people were amazing. They were really energetic. It was awesome.
It was very cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Cold as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like cold inside as well?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
no.
I was playing with like 2 layers of pants, 2 pairs
wow.
of socks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I was sweating up there.
Let's just
I was
say
really cold.
We're not used to this weather.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then
So we
At
like
all.
over prepared.
now
That's
you've
fair.
played Canada before. You guys were here earlier this year on the east
Yes.
side,
Yes.
right? But
Yeah.
you haven't done Western Canada proper in the winter.
No.
Nope.
So how did you get like you guys are fully equipped with the jackets and whatever? So
Everything.
Yeah.
was there a big shopping trip?
Yeah.
And we're still kind of shopping as we
As you go.
As we go.
It just gets colder and colder, and we're not like the coldest we get in Monterrey is like 0 degrees.
That's it.
And that's like our most intense winter.
Yeah.
So right now we're kind of dying here.
shocked.
Yeah. So we just keep buying more layers as we keep traveling.
Mind you, this was posted in mid-November. So, but it's Canada. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, just worth noting.
And you're on your way to Edmonton today, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Or do you have plans in Edmonton outside of sound check and doing show stuff.
Do we stay in Edmonton tomorrow? I don't know when we have our free day.
We sleep there,
Rudy?
but we...
Leave at midnight. Day off, and we have it at Grand Prairie.
Oh.
Grand Prairie is the day off. Okay, yeah. So
Is it
Yeah.
pretty?
It's
What an endorsement.
Grand Prairie's got a reputation.
Peter used to be my boss at the radio station, and you kind of loosely gave me a job opportunity in Grand Prairie once. You said it's on. If it's there, you could probably take it.
Right.
I didn't take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No offense to Grand Prairie, but
As far as the shows go, shows are pretty legendary. Every
Oh,
band
big time,
we've talked
big
to
time.
enjoys the crowd and has a good
Big time.
You're up north of Fairways.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Is it going to be cold?
Grand Prairie is going to be
Yeah.
very happy to see you.
They will be very happy.
Very happy to see you. You're also
Bring them some warmth.
you're also touring with other friends of the show, Johnny and Renee from the Standstills.
Standstills?
Yeah.
Know them quite well.
Yeah.
You
they're
know,
awesome.
we haven't actually had a proper,
we haven't properly.
meeting them.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been running around the shows,
Yeah.
but I've met some of them. Like, I've just said like,
Yes.
hi, and they're like,
Between
hi.
the sound checks.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
They've got some
cool.
stories to tell because they drove from Ontario out to the Vancouver show.
Yeah. and,
yeah.
Through the mountains and
and
snow.
they're
Like, I understand that they made
the
it just in time
Yeah.
for the show
Yes,
on
but, like,
Vancouver.
they
An hour
arrived
before.
Like an hour before.
Yeah, they arrived
Yeah.
at 6 p.m. and played 7 p.m.
They were insane.
Yeah.
crazy.
And we were just arriving, and I was like, I don't know if I could have done that. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, honestly, kudos to them. They're really cool.
So
Yeah.
what would be like? So again, they had to drive through mountains and snow temperatures and putting chains on tires to get through.
Yeah.
What's the worst driving conditions you guys had faced in Mexico? Like what?
In Mexico,
Oh.
have we? It's.
I
it's
mean,
been
you
pretty
know, this,
chill.
honestly, the streets of Mexico are not that smooth.
Oh,
So-
I feel like that's adding to stereotypes, but I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's like a free massage chair the whole way. They're pretty bad. Every time this sounds so horrible, but every time we're like in the U.S. or here in Canada and we're driving through the streets, we're
like,
always like, they're so smooth. It's insane. So, but honestly, it's been pretty chill. I feel like the craziest
Yeah.
things we've had so
It's
far.
a desert.
It's desert, but over
Yeah.
here, we're very scared because it's snowing all the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God, it's the middle of the night. Are we swaying around? We do not know. But our driver is awesome.
Alan?
Alan is awesome. He's
Yeah.
doing a great job.
Yeah.
So we're all very.
And is this his first trip through this kind of environment as well? Like,
I don't
Don't
think
know.
so.
I don't
With
think
us,
so.
No.
with us, yes.
okay, so
Yeah.
he's got
Yeah.
because we've had bands before. I don't know if you remember when the Lazies had come through and they had
From
from
Australia, yeah.
and they had an Australian driver and they actually were going even further north to Fort McMurray and they
I
had
know.
never experienced.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound cool.
at all.
That being said, I think as we speak, Alan is trying to figure out how he's going to get the hell out of the back alley right now.
No. Coming in was an adventure.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's
All right,
fine.
yeah, that's
fine.
fair.
Teamwork.
We got
You-
waffle power.
You could take the morning off.
Just a note where they probably are. Hang on, in fact. I believe they're about midway up the province, maybe a little less than that. Edmonton is it's nearing the halfway point of Alberta, which puts it a little bit below the most southern part of Alaska, which kind of trickles down. It's still a few hundred miles up into Canada from the U.S. border. Chilly up there. That's also a place where the winds come down. I mean, everybody talks about the winds in Montana and South Dakota, North Dakota, and how it just gets super cold in the winter sometimes, and you got those roaring winds. Well, they're coming straight through that same area. I'm looking at Grand Prairie right now, which is what they said they were going to be playing soon after Edmonton, I guess, that night, and then the next night they were going to be there. So today is November 28 as I do this, and it's 0 Fahrenheit in Grand Prairie. So, okay, just to give you a hint, yeah, it's cold.
Again, thank you for hanging out. We've got this Communal Creative Studios here, which is affiliated with a really great venue in town, Beau's Bar and Stage. Ooh. And we don't often get in-person guests, especially throughout the pandemic, because it's all been over Zoom. So it's very exciting to have you here with Pete's Waffles.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, we're excited.
And it's been a big few years for you, but this year especially with the album release, how are you feeling about everything?
We're feeling great about it,
Good.
especially that we can actually tour with the
Yeah.
new music.
Yeah,
That's like, the biggest thing because we actually recorded the album in 2020, but it didn't come
wasn't
out
released?
until
No.
this year.
Yeah.
So,
So we kept that album for 2 years, and it was a really like, I want to say Paulatino, but I don't know how to say that in English. It was like
a very
release
slow
that
release.
was stretched out.
Yeah.
Stretched
And it was
out.
like it was done and like it's all sitting there perfectly packaged,
Yeah.
ready to go. There's been nothing tinkered with it since it.
No.
Wow.
So
Nothing
it's
at
been
all.
weird that this is our new music, but it's like 3 years old for us. So, but it still feels really new every time we play it, because it's really exciting to visit all these new places that we've never visited before.
Yeah.
Right now, this is our first tour, like official proper tour in Canada. But this year was also like our first tour in the US, and we've just been outside of our home for like the whole year, and it's been amazing like meeting all these people and visiting all these new places and playing the music live. It's just been such a
Yeah.
cool experience.
And Monterrey is still home. Like that is
yes,
home
yes.
base.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
no plans to
We're
change that.
there like
Well, yeah.
every 3 months, and we only stay there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it is still our home. And
That is right.
Yeah, I feel like we still want to keep that our home, because it feels really special to come back, and like when we just arrive like at the airport and everyone's speaking Spanish, you're like, it's like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yay, we're home. So hopefully we can keep returning there for the next.
When do you get home next?
Okay, this is very
the end of
funny actually.
November?
At the end of November, this tour ends, but we are home like 3 days, and
Yeah.
we head out to Colombia and Peru, and then we stay another 2 days home, and then we go to Nashville. So
Oh, okay.
we're just gonna be like,
back and forth. But
Yeah.
Christmas at home?
yes, we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not going to be too cold in Christmas. Fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
really happy about that. Yes.
And then what's the Nashville trip for? Is it a show or are you guys sitting?
oh no,
Oh,
we're,
no.
we're going to do some writing.
Okay, cool.
yes.
And it's going to be fun.
Have you done the
It's gonna be
Nashville
fun.
experience?
No, we've
Not at
never
all.
been to
We've
Nashville.
actually never been to
Which is
Nashville.
insane.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
insane.
Yeah.
We've played like
Everywhere.
a lot in the U.S. this year, but we haven't touched Nashville, which
At
is
all.
Wow.
crazy.
It's the current tour. It's 100 dates, right? Is it
Yeah.
Yes, I feel
Wow.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Gosh.
scheduled like the ones that you see on the tour,
Yeah.
but I don't think we counted the ones in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I
it's a
think we
bit
did.
over.
No, we did.
Yeah,
we did. We did.
Like all the acoustics and stuff.
Yeah.
that we add on
Oh.
that goes to past 100.
Yeah.
Past 100.
I know you can't see him, but over there is Rudy, our
Rudy,
manager.
manager.
He knows.
He knows the dates.
stuff.
Running the show.
Yeah. And so we've been playing a lot this year.
Yeah.
We're making up for the 2 years we didn't play,
Yeah.
squeezing it all.
Big time making
Yeah.
up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, our producer Ryan plays bass in a band called One Bad Son. And you guys, hey Ryan, did you play on the same day at Sound of Music?
Is that in Burlington?
No, the day before.
But he played that Sound of Music festival in Burlington, Ontario in August. What's
Oh
up?
my
Burlington.
God.
Okay.
Saw each other.
barely
I
missed
remember.
you.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
barely missed you.
Wow.
That's Canada, right? It's just such a small world, and
Yeah.
everything is just so connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I
And when-
remember that place because we had like the RV dressing room.
Oh, I remember.
yes.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, there were a lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah. And that's
Yes, there would have been. There would have been. My mom
it's
lives
like-
like 5 minutes from where you guys played.
Oh,
It's a very nice
it's
area.
The
Yeah,
one
it's
by
very
the
nice.
lake, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lake.
Got it.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes,
Yeah.
and it was hot. It was very
was-
hot.
Yes, and it was
Yeah.
our first time playing in Canada.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Wow,
it's really nice.
That's crazy. That's a pretty. That festival is a big deal too. They bring in a lot of people for those shows. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And then tonight you're going to Edmonton, and then you go to Grand Prairie,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then your Alberta adventure is over.
Oh, really?
I think, isn't
I
it?
think. Yeah, and then it's into Saskatchewan.
Yes, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
You guys know
It's because we don't know Canadian geography.
You know what's really funny is, and the way tour routing happens in this country, and I guess obviously venue availability and all that, but we see it so often where a band will play here and then come up to
Yeah.
here and then go back down over here and then come over here and then go back up
That's
here.
really frustrating.
It's very-
Like,
yes.
when you're in the bus and that happens, you're like,
Wait,
planned
why?
this. But
I will
It
kill
happened
them.
in the U.S. states.
oh
a
yeah,
lot.
that we did like Florida, and then we went back up, and then we went back down, and it was really
was
weird. I don't know the routing for this
And
one.
it's not like you get to really necessarily probably see a lot of the countryside as you're going by, right?
No.
You guys are trying to get your sleep and rest,
Yeah.
and you're busy on the bus doing.
Yeah, that is very sad because we did want to we went through the Rockies, right? So we
Oh,
wanted
we wanted to see the
kinda,
Rockies, But
In the
So you
dark.
guys didn't get, in the
no,
dark.
it
We were
was
like
I was going to
knocked
ask you
down.
because Monterrey is very mountainous as well, right?
Yes.
But I'm assuming
Oh,
probably
you know
just
your
very
stuff?
different.
yes, very
So I
different.
was going to try to see a comparison between our mountains
Yeah.
and yours.
Oh,
Well,
very
your
different
mountains
mountains.
are very
Pointy.
Like,
yeah,
you'll
ours
get
are
snow,
pointy.
You'll get snow in yours
No.
at all? Never. Okay, so it's still.
It's a desert.
Oh, okay.
Well,
We
there
said
will
like
be
it's
like the rare occasion where everyone in Monterrey just kind of like, there's
Yeah.
snow on the tiny little pig.
But that's like the world is ending. It's snowing.
Miracle.
It's not
Yeah.
normal.
It's not
It's not
in
normal.
Monterrey.
Yeah.
But the mountains are very
change.
different. But they're like I feel kind of at home here because
Yeah.
like when we're touring in places where there is nothing,
Yeah.
and everything's just
like a
it's
valley.
weird. It feels really weird. But when you see something dotting the sky, like mountains, it's like oh okay, it feels a bit more familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
cute.
they're very different. And you guys have
Like peaks,
is it
you have
pines? No, is it
like the trees.
yeah.
Yeah.
We also have trees.
I mean, yes, but they're not that
like
trees.
those trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We live in a desert, so
Like the
it's
Christmas-
mainly
like the
like
traditional
bushes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels very Christmassy right now. It's so cute. I feel like I'm in a movie.
It's going to feel like that.
Okay, just an aside, if you ever were to drive across America, you would experience something different after going over every state boundary. Whether or not it's rolling hills and then flatness and then mountains or what have you. There's just always something a little bit different. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. And I'm sure if you tour, you'll know that.
For the next 6 months.
Yeah, it gets old fast. It really does.
Whereas it's really
Sorry.
new, so it's still cute.
You're bringing a little extra excitement back into it. So
Yes.
For those that don't know, what's the age range here?
Oh,
Oh,
right.
okay.
Okay, so Alice the youngest, she's 17.
Okay.
I love that. I just
Yeah,
like,
I thought you were gonna say
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
I know, like-
I'm 22. All
I'm
right.
20. Yeah.
And you've
I mean,
been.
the older sisters always speak for the younger one, right? Is that kind of the case?
That's great though. Yeah.
You're okay with that?
She's
I'm
good
okay with that.
Yeah.
And then you started playing music together like a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Long time ago.
We're
It's,
babies.
it's nearing up to 10 years now.
That's wild.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
consider
Yeah.
The Warning 10 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
started playing like
In 2012.
shows in 2012.
And the first one, if my research was correct, was a Christmas festival,
Yes,
right? A
it
school
was
Christmas
It
festival.
was like in Mexico we call them posadas. So it was like the Christmas party of like the whole school, and we played our first song there, and it was cute. I mean, we were super tiny.
really
What song was it?
It was "Gawky Rock and Roll to You" by Kiss.
Yeah,
we did a
the Kiss.
cover.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cute. Like I
Okay.
see it. I still remember what I was wearing.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah,
was
me
dressed
too.
in neon green for some reason, and we were tiny. But that's
Yeah, we
like
were.
where we really fell in love
But that's
with playing
like,
together.
we really fell in love with playing together and performing. But it was a shock to the whole school because, like, our friends knew we played instruments, but that's
Not-
it. And then just like, wait, what? You're performing? And everyone at the school was just like, what is this?
But if you take into account that I was 10,
Yeah.
yeah.
you were 12, and I
I
was
was
7.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
we
wild.
we looked like toddlers.
So, and then your
Well-
family is very musical?
No.
No.
They
yes.
like music.
They're very
and
music
they're really
involved.
passionate about it, but they don't play anything.
My mom's
like,
a dentist.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So where like and music isn't treated the same in this country necessarily as it is in other countries where in some areas, some schools, it's not necessarily a priority.
Oh
Right.
yeah, it's not a priority.
Not a priority at all. So your school
no.
wasn't like encouraging you guys to, you weren't spending hours a day playing music at school or anything?
Oh no, it's
Nope.
quite the opposite. Like,
Okay.
Don't do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Because
I don't know.
like culturally, I feel like it's viewed as a career path that is not viable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like, oh no, why don't you focus on like maths or whatever,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can become something else?
That's something that I think might just be universal. even in Europe, you know, I don't think every parent wants their child to be a musician. More do than, say, the United States and apparently Mexico. That's an interesting thing that our cultures share.
And for us, it was always like very music orientated. So when we started playing like at our school and stuff, everyone was like, oh, okay. But no one was like, oh my God, yes, I fully support you. That's
Keep
awesome.
doing this,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So no band program at all? Not.
No,
yes.
you know what? Actually, we were those generations who got a music program started
Okay.
in the
It was a funny
school,
music
but it
program,
was it was like a marching band without the marching.
Yep.
And
It was weird.
It was.
Were you in it? Were you in it?
Oh, it was.
We had to
you
be.
have
Oh, okay.
For real?
Yeah, so you got to
did you
pick
guys
an
play?
instrument. I played sax.
Nice.
I played sax.
I didn't want to learn another instrument, so I picked percussion.
There you go.
Smart.
Was that sound like? And you guys had already been jamming together, obviously, at home
Yeah.
by that point. So was this incredibly boring to you?
Yes,
or-
it was.
Okay.
Okay,
I
you know,
failed
I
in- at music class.
love learning
Yeah.
the saxophone, so I was
It was
really,
kinda fun.
I really, really liked
And our
it.
teacher
Yeah.
was nice.
But like playing hot cross buns like
Yeah.
throughout the whole year.
That sucks.
So
That
it's just
sucks.
like I need to like.
Yeah.
learn
Why is that
something
song
more.
universal? I had to learn to play that on a recorder.
Yeah.
Just easy, I guess. Easy.
Corner, we had it as
We
well.
had recorders too. Yeah.
We had the whole shebang.
Have you incorporated sax into your set?
Not yet. I
we
really
always
want
joke
to.
about it.
I mean,
We
I
Always
do.
joke about
think
it.
you kind of have to,
Should.
don't
And
you?
I actually have one. So like I own a saxophone, but like it will be very hard for me to sing, play the guitar, and
And
somehow just like
That's fair.
sax in. So we're
Oh, that's easy. You just put Allie on keyboards for a moment, and you have one of those interludes in the middle of a song, or not even an interlude, just another movement. This is when they have their next epic album, another concept album for sure. I see it coming, and there's a place for the saxophone.
perfect.
We'll figure it out.
I do think surprise sax appearances in rock sets are highly underrated.
Oh, and they go over huge, right?
And they only have to be like 20, 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
Yes. that's
20,
dope.
30 seconds, that's a lot.
I mean,
That's a lot.
do a quick little sax riff and then, get back to the...
And then
Sure.
done.
We'll do a break and
Yeah.
you will just
And
play the
then
sax.
if you guys get tired, you can just like go off stage, and I will just like pull it out and play
Well, I was
Careless
thinking you
Whisper.
could even just,
And just kind of
Exactly.
Yes.
I love that. I
I
love
like that.
that.
I like that.
Let's totally do that.
Yeah.
if you just have the sax strapped to your back the whole time, the whole show, and then
The
for
whole
20
show.
seconds looking around, and then back again.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be.
You should also have a wind machine handy nearby that is only switched on when she switches to the saxophone, and then you switch it off after. I'm telling you.
I love
Tambourine
that.
at
I
all?
love that. Yeah.
So, and then, okay, you start playing basically on your own accord. That's your decision to form a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting serious recognition. I'm curious about this Berkeley program. How did that
Oh, right.
transpire?
Okay.
So we were on like this big rolling wave of like wanting to know about our instruments. So we were just like literally learning a lot. And my dad got the idea like, let's go to like an actual music school. So we were looking at Berkeley to go over there for a summer, and we did. We
Yeah.
got the scholarship, and then we went to the Ellen DeGeneres show, and
Yeah.
they actually supported us in that decision, and was just like, "Ugh." And they helped us get there as well. But it was a very cool experience.
It was awesome.
And
5
it was
weeks?
5 weeks.
6 weeks.
Well,
6
no, we
weeks.
did.
It was a
like,
5-week program, but we were another
next-
week before that
Yeah.
in another program.
Because
was
they
cute.
were a little bit not concerned, but we actually did not fit in the age group.
Yeah.
Just
of
gonna,
the
I thought
Yeah.
maybe the age would
Yeah.
be much, much different.
Yeah,
The age
so
group was like-
that's why they put us in a program before that for younger ages,
Okay.
and then into
And
the
then we did
5
the
week, just to
5-week
see
program.
like how we would.
It was
do.
really funny. Like, it was still like really weird to see other female drummers,
Yeah.
like in the classes. But I was like super young. I was
You were
13.
tiny. Yes.
So it was just like me in a classroom with like 25-year-old dudes, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was weird.
Pat has always been like
Really tiny. I'm really
physically
short.
tiny, so it looks very
It
funny.
was hilarious. But I felt like I was really young. But Ale, you were.
I
Yeah.
was 10.
10 at
So-
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
You,
Yeah.
you say looking at good music schools, you went to the music school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10.
At 10. That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
You would
It was
just see
a-
Ale just like with my mom helping her carry
Carry
the
the
bags.
I couldn't
It
even
was
carry
just
my
like,
bags. Like, it was like,
oh my
Because
god.
the campus is really weird because it's not a campus.
Yep.
It's just so many buildings
Random
spread
buildings.
across Boston, and it was really annoying having to walk all of that carrying a bass.
Yeah.
Poor
at
little
10.
10-year-old Ali.
Yeah.
But
it
it was
my legs. It was.
Oh, I remember.
yeah.
Like I
You
couldn't
were
carry
just-
because it hit my legs.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was such a different experience for us because
Yeah.
music had always been just between
Problems.
us.
Yeah.
So like sharing it and hearing other opinions about the same things we were playing, but like with other people was really weird. And it was also our first time playing like in different bands with
that
other
was
people.
Right.
Interesting.
It was so different for
Adrian
us.
and I were in the same band
That's
because
terrifying.
she
Because
was
I was
10
really
years
young,
old.
yeah.
I was just like, okay, you can be with your sister. But we shared a band with like 5 other people. And we're like, how are we going to make this work? It was weird. But it was cool.
It was interesting.
It was
It was
very. I feel like we grew a lot in that sense of like, working with other people because we had never done that before. And I feel like that is such an important part of music. It's just like sharing and knowing how to communicate through
Absolutely.
music with
Yeah.
other people. Because I feel like that's the hardest thing to do, like properly communicate your ideas. And we have really good communication because we're sisters, we know each other, and we, even though we're not saying anything, we can kind of understand each other. But when you don't have that type of like really personal connection with other people, like it takes work. So
Yeah, to
I feel like
build
we
it.
really worked that ability.
Yeah, because imagine playing in a band and like playing a song and not communicating with like,
True
I don't know,
collaboration,
like
yeah.
not feeling being disconnected from it. That would be weird.
I feel like
Okay, wait. This is a perfect time for me to mention that original Grateful Dead bassist Phil Lesh recently passed away at the age of 84. Of course, he started in the Grateful Dead just about the time the band really came together. Jerry asked him to join. He'd never even played the bass before, but he had some classical theory. He'd gone through some classes. He'd played the trumpet, I believe, and so he was an exploratory person. He liked concrete music. Listened to Stockhausen and artists like that. He was just very adventurous. And the thing about the Grateful Dead, the thing that made them particularly special and why they're kind of a musicians band, is because they would listen to each other so intensely, so intently, even though they weren't related. And actually they didn't have a lot in common amongst them, even musically, but they listened to each other very intently, and they got to understanding how to talk to each other and how to listen to each other. That's the thing that helps set you apart in a band setting. If you can get everybody to think like that and to be paying attention to how the music is coming out, what everybody else is doing, you hear every part, you hear everything that's going on, and you work with it, you add to it, you talk, you kind of keep, it becomes its own little being, its own little machine, and you do your part to keep it rolling smoothly. But you can write that way as well. And this is a strength that the sisters have, the DPA have. They listen to each other so intently. They are there for each other, and that's huge. And they do that with their writing as well. This is what makes it such a winning combination, why their music is so much fun to listen to. You can hear the logic and the reason and the joy that went into the making of the music, the creating of the music in the first place, and then carrying it out on stage. Anyway, just a long-winded thing to say that this is a really great thing, that's how they do it, and that they learned that skill, or at least they improved that skill at Berkeley as one of the things they learned. So that's great. All right. We're about 2/3 of the way through. Let's just continue.
you're very lucky to have done that, especially at such a young age, because you could probably argue that just playing the three of you as close as you are, you might not be as open to criticism or feedback as if you just kept that synergy going, just the three of you for a long time. So doing that at such a young age with strangers and people who are much older than you too, right?
Yeah.
That, I mean, it sounds terrifying.
It kind of was. But it was really fun.
Yeah.
Because it was also very exciting to see that we could play with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that we weren't falling behind. It was just like, okay, I can learn new stuff from this.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you just kind of like kept growing in different places that you didn't know existed. It was
But
really
I totally
cool.
agree that it was a good time to learn it.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
it was.
Definitely. And at that point, like as you see us now with our work, we've grown to be very much extroverts now.
Yeah.
But we were very
We were
shy.
really shy.
Well,
Individuals.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Understandable.
we were just like,
Yeah.
That's a lot to be thrown into.
Yeah.
Big time.
And also, like in English, it was
and then
also
in a
very
different language.
confusing that there are a lot of things that I don't know if it's only like in the U.S.,
Or
but
here,
things
too.
like with music
Like
that
music
don't
terms.
apply to the rest of the world. So it was
Like what?
like movable dough.
Movable dough.
What the hell?
That is not a thing anywhere else because we don't use A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We use
Right.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Right?
Yeah.
So it was really confusing when people said like, oh no, this is do, and it was an E. I was like, it's not do. Maybe it's the one in the scale, but it's not a do.
Wait, they were. This is at Berkeley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly what they're talking about. Let me just see first if they explain it. They probably will.
And it was really
Was it like
confusing.
music beginners class?
Oh, it was
No, it's
musicianship.
musicianship.
Yeah, and so it was.
Okay, so basically,
And
they're
you guys
they're-
ended up teaching Berkeley how it's done.
No, but it was really good.
But it's a universal thing. Like if you go and like have a score between you, even if you're a professional, like the solfege will be, if it's the third interval in a scale, it will be me, even though that's
It's
not the note.
me.
Yeah, that's
Right.
That was really
It's
confusing.
really confusing.
So it's almost just a visual tool,
Yeah.
as opposed to okay.
But
That's
it's
wow.
not used
was weird,
everywhere, so it was also like learning
yeah.
the U.S.
I
way
really
of
remember
doing it.
this like Brazilian student be like, but that makes no sense.
Yeah, people
It
who
was
weren't
just
from
like-
like the U.S. were so confused.
And we're really
like-
like that's not a thing, and we were like, I agree, but we will have to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
So it was also really cool to see music in like
Another.
in a different cultural setting. It
All right. Just so people understand, because maybe they don't, at least in Mexico, and I'm not sure, but a lot of other countries as well, there's this alternate way of doing your do, re, mi's. The do will not be on the one. The do will be, I'm actually not sure what the key is. Maybe it's C. All right. Oh, piano's not on. So maybe it's C. That means that it's always C. Do is the key of C no matter what scale you're looking at or trying to play. And that's just it. See, in America, do can be any key. The important part is it's the very first note in a scale. It's the root. It's the number one. So, in the scale of C, it's going to be C. In the scale of G, it's going to be G, etc. But in Mexico and other places that use this alternate way, and I'm not sure which one is dominant, so it's always the one note. It's always C, or it's always whatever. It doesn't matter what scale of G, it's still C. So, which is hilarious. That's why this was, to me, is funny. Anyway.
is
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot.
Did they teach you anything about the business side when you're?
Oh, in the
I-
5-week program,
I mean, maybe they do. I'm pretty sure we didn't take
Okay.
any of
Yeah.
those courses.
because you could just like pick your.
Yeah, you would pick what you wanted to go to, and
you probably
we
can.
di-
But they
No,
do.
we did
But you do
have
have
like it was like a seminar on. Yeah, there was one, and I do vaguely remember it. There
But
are.
no.
We didn't specifically take them. No.
Wow. So how about doing stuff like this? Did you guys take any courses on
Oh, no.
interviewing and all that? Or
No.
this is just all kind of learned as you...
No, but I mean, we've been doing this for more like half of our lives.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we kind of picked it up as we
Our
went.
first interviews are very funny.
They're horrible. They're horrible, man. But we were tiny. So, but no, I think they do give like media lessons. I think they should more than anything. I think they do.
Yeah.
We didn't take any.
It's such a big part of being like an artist nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like
if you want to promote yourself
Right.
in
Yes.
that
Oh, yeah.
like with that platform for sure, yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, why'd you even bother? What's the point of this? But not today. Not today.
Not today.
It's going
Not
very well.
Not
You guys
today.
have your experience is showing very much with interviews. So
Oh, that's
Yay!
good.
And you guys must enjoy Canadians because I don't know if you realize, like Alessia Cara, Canadian.
Yes.
Grandson, who you've got on
Canadian.
the Remix of Choke, Canadian.
yeah.
Most of our team. Yeah, most of
Yeah,
our team that we
we
work
have a
with,
lot of-
like an
Yeah.
international management, they're all Canadian.
Cool.
So we work a lot.
Yes.
Do you have
Love
any
Canada.
connection to this country at all?
Like
My dad really likes Canada.
There we go. That's all we need.
Canada.
That's all we
He
need.
actually studied here in. back in 19, I don't know.
No, he was
Something.
in high school.
He was in high school, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
He stayed here for a while.
Yeah.
So he really likes this country, but we really like it culturally.
Yes.
We feel really welcome here, and it's just like in the airport, we were just like, oh my god, we were like walking through customs, and they were like, "Are we pronouncing your names correctly?" And I'm like, what is going on, man? It's no problem. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Everyone is just so welcoming
And nice.
and it's
Yeah.
really nice to be here. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is our stereotype, so it's probably a good
Yes,
stereotype
nice
to have, right?
stereotype.
Stereotype
With
to
the
have.
waffles. I mean, I was
Yeah,
just like,
I mean, look at
this
this.
is so Canadian. I love it. Yeah. Thank you.
How do you feel about the like we said, you've gotten a significant amount of recognition over the last few years. You've been given like cosigns by some incredible top of their time musicians. How do you deal with that at your age? Like, do you have to work on your ego? Your like, because I mean, it must be tough. You're only 17 still. You're touring with, playing shows with the Foo Fighters and Kirk
Well,
Hammett
let's get
talking
into a
about the band and
specific.
shit.
You've got Lizzie Hale walking onto a stage with a guitar.
I know.
It's a gift to you. Like, how do you...
I'm gonna cry again. No, it's like, man, I still have like no words for that experience. I was completely shocked. By the way, this was a surprise, and
Really?
like no one knew that was gonna happen. Actually, at that time, I was angry because my guitar tech was supposed to hand me another guitar for the next song, and I was just like, "Why are you not giving me anything? I have to play a show."
going on? We have
And
a
then
show.
just Lizzie
Full
comes out,
diva
like,
moment about to
yeah, I was
happen.
just like, "Wait," and then
That's reasonable.
Lizzie comes out with a guitar. I was just like, "Nah."
Wow.
How am I gonna No, but yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. As for like the ego thing, I mean,
I
no,
feel like we just sometimes we can't like we don't believe like those things.
Yeah.
happen.
Still, you're
Like,
yeah.
it's
We're
just
like in
kinda
denial.
Weird, and we feel more than anything like really humbled by it because these
Yeah.
are people that like we look up to so much,
Yeah.
and to be recognized by them and them telling us like, "Hey, you're doing a good job." It's like, "Okay, we're doing a good job. Okay, okay, we're doing a good job," and it just motivates you to
Yeah.
be doing even like an even better job.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a really important thing to be like self-aware of where you're at. And I feel like we're really clear on that, on the things that we need to like do better at. And we have very good communication, and not only with us, but like our whole team.
Cool.
And we're really open to like constructive criticism. That's a very big part of being a musician.
Yeah.
That's
And
huge. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's a big step.
It is.
Yeah.
And
we have to admit it's not easy to take either way.
Yeah.
But we're open to
And we know that it's not personal. Like, it's not like you suck as a person. It's like you could be less sucky at this, you know?
Interesting.
Well, I wonder if when you guys were coming up, if this would have made a difference with how young you are, that people were maybe a little kinder with it because you were so young, and maybe it kind of eased you
Maybe.
into it a little bit?
Could go the
Or it could
total
go the-
opposite
or it
way
could go the
too.
opposite
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
We've
Yeah.
had, let's say we have both experiences.
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
people like sugarcoating it, and we're like,
People-
no, like give it to us like real.
Yeah.
And people being kind of mean about it. But honestly, I feel like within it, like our team, we're always very conscious of what we need to do better. But we're also very, we take like moments to say like, you know what, we did a really good job today. Congratulations. Let's celebrate. I was gonna say like make a toast, but we don't drink or anything. But like, let's eat donuts today because we had a good show.
Yes.
So it's just about being conscious that we're like making those steps and moving forward and getting better, but never being like too cocky about it. We
Yeah.
know that being a part of a musician is just like you can always
be
get
good.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, true.
when crazy good things are happening, just don't believe it.
Until
This is not actually real.
Okay, this is a great...
The thing to keep in mind is that it's likely temporary. For most artists, this time in the spotlight is not very long. You might get a lot of attention at some point, and then at some point it dies down, and you may still have a very, very viable career. In fact, you probably would. But yeah, it's good to stay humble.
It's a good thing I'm having a hard time believing. I've got 3 kids of my own who are actually probably very close in age to you guys.
Ooh.
And they get along really well, but they're siblings.
Yes.
yeah.
And there's bickering. So when it comes time to little squabbles, what's the cause?
For
What
us?
do we fight? Yeah, what do you...
Usually it's typical sibling things. Just like, oh my God, you are wearing my blouse. Just like, oh my God.
Also, blouse.
That was a word.
Wow.
Shirts.
Like when we're touring and things, it's like you have a mess, pick it up. Don't put your luggage in the middle of the room.
That's usually what we
Turn
tell
off
her.
the light because we're all like laying down in the bed.
Pretty normal stuff.
Pretty normal
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty
Yeah.
normal
who gets to
stuff.
shower first, that type of thing. But very normal sibling things. Very
yeah.
calm. Yeah. And we usually just like resolve it very quickly. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's my turn. It's okay. Who gets to go to the lobby for the Uber Eats?
Oh,
Those are our biggest fights.
yeah.
Horrible.
That's
Yeah.
We usually go
Rock,
like,
paper, scissors.
Rock, paper,
And that's
scissors,
it.
or like
democracy.
the three of us.
the three of
let's go.
us.
Yeah.
Oh, you all go together?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like if no one wants to go,
Yeah.
the three of us are gonna go
have to
down
go.
there, and we're gonna take that food.
But no one sacrifices herself,
No.
so
Yeah,
the
no.
three of us will just like go.
Yeah.
That mentality is going to help you guys going forward.
100%.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap
Yeah.
up.
right.
But thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you guys.
thank you.
And is there anything you want viewers to know about the warning going into 2023?
Yeah, what's coming up next, real quick? Tour?
We're
God.
gonna keep touring Canada.
Yes.
We're gonna play in Colombia and Peru. So if
Yeah.
you're from
Exciting.
Colombia or Peru,
You can
we're gonna go
check
play
us out
there.
there.
And
Yeah.
for next year,
We have no idea.
Okay.
but we're
there
gonna
are
be
things
touring.
in the works.
Probably we're gonna come back to Canada.
Yeah.
Yes. But guys, check out our newest album ever.
Yes.
We hope that you like it.
Check it out.
And we'll
And,
be here if you ever need rock and roll from us.
Yes. Cool.
All right.
Thus concludes
All right.
Waffles. With
Waffles, the warning, and the road, the stage, Anna.
Wednesday.
Waffles with the warning on Wednesday. That's a keeper. Okay. I gotta tell you, that little thing they said about Uber Eats was actually pretty inspiring and a good lesson, a good life, a good thing to put into practice. If you just can't agree, nobody wants to go do this thing, you all do it. You all do it together. That's a character builder if I've ever heard of one. So that was very entertaining. And now I understand, okay, yes, in Canada at that time of year where they were, it can be extremely cold. I mean, the kind of cold that those of us that grew up in Boston don't often see, except maybe the dead of winter every other winter, you know. And that's November. Gosh, I got to go to Canada one of these days. It sounds like a fascinating place, and I've never been. Anyway, that was a really cool interview. Very laid back and friendly. Yeah, just amazing. So, of course, they've been back to the area. I don't know if they've been back to, well, they were just in Calgary not too long ago. I appreciate that suggestion, those of you that suggested this interview over time. This is a great time to be catching up on some of those interview requests that had come in for a while there while they were on tour, which was most of the year. So if anybody knows more about these guys, looks like Patrick Bateman and Peter Michaels. It's funny, they both had pretty serious beards, you know, kind of indicating what the climate might be like up there. But yeah, that was a great one. That was a good one to sit in on. So thanks again to those who suggested it, and let me know if you have other requests. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining me on this, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.